What's going on, everybody? I'm Sweetfoot Tony. Welcome to episode number 3 of the Sweetfoot Tony Show. Got a lot of nice things for y'all. Today we're going to get right to it. First order of business, I'd like to apologize for the delay. I'm in school, so I got a lot of things that I'm juggling right now, but I promise this is going to be a good show for you. First order of business, comments from last week's show. Shout out to Eric Johnson for commenting on last week's show. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him since college. Shout out to VSU and the rest of the alumni out there. Shout out to Precious and the little swagettes. E writes, the Redskins will make noise in the NFC East this year, but 8-8 isn't noise. Why is this a prediction every year? Eagles will once again be dreaming about the Super Bowl. So, yes, I agree with the Dream Team term. NCAA gets no love from me until they incorporate an NFL-type playoff system for the national championship. Next week's show, can you talk about Colt McCoy and how he'll lead the fantasy teams across the nation to the chip? Well, E, thank you for commenting on the show. To address the 8-8 situation with the Redskins, for the simple fact that every year we seem to take a step forward and a step back. Realistically, I feel that, and I'm pretty sure you feel the same, is when you build a team, it's going to be year by year unless you just get lucky like the 98 Falcons or some fluke team like the 02 Buccaneers. Sorry, Mark Buggs. But, a team like that just has a great year and then the next year they're not nothing. I don't want to do that. So I think 8-8 is a fair assessment given that all the holes we need to fill until both sides of the ball get implemented to the schemes, to the new schemes that have been installed. So I think 8-8 is a fair assessment given the hard schedule we have as well. But thanks again for commenting, E. As for the NCAA, I completely agree with you. They should definitely have some playoff bracket type thing. But unfortunately, if it ain't broke, they ain't going to fix it. As for Colt McCoy in fantasy, I know he's your quarterback, but I don't expect him to be a fantasy leader. I expect him to improve from last year. He's been working with Brett Favre in the offseason to learn the West Coast offense. So I expect him to have a good year this year. But with some of the injuries to the offensive line of the Browns, you can kiss the run game goodbye. And they're really going to put it on Peyton Hillis, and he really didn't have anybody to throw to besides Josh Cribbs. So I'm not sure if he's really going to ball out like everybody thinks he's going to. But once again, Eric Johnson, thank you for commenting on the show. Next order of business is the first topic for today is the division winners. I think if we go to we're going to do the division winners of the NFC today. First things first, the NFC East. We all know the teams in there. I think the Eagles will be favored to win the NFC East. The NFC North, I think the Packers will win that again. The NFC West, I think the Rams will win that this year. Hopefully they'll be able to win the division with a better record than 7-9. And as for the NFC South, it's pretty up in the air. The NFC North and the NFC South, in my personal point of view, are definitely the two toughest divisions in the league, along with the Steelers division and everything. But I think in terms of just the schedule and who has more to prove, I'm going to bank with the Saints this year. I think it's going to be the Saints and Falcons duking it out for the next couple of years in terms of who will be the best in the division. But I think the Saints are going to take it this year. They got Brian Ingram. Everybody else has been brought back. They've added a couple of weapons. So definitely look for the Saints to win the division this year. So NFC South, Saints. NFC West, Rams. NFC North, Packers. NFC East, Eagles. If you feel like I'm in error or you feel differently, go ahead and comment on this show at the Sweetfoot Tony blog.blogspot.com or J Sweetfoot Tony Cohen on Facebook. and just give me your feedback. I definitely appreciate it. Next thing, quick order of business is Arian Foster. His tweet heard around the world, if you will. He tweeted his MRI of his tweaked hamstring, basically telling everybody where he was hurting, where he was hurting at, and a lot of sports commentators are mad about that. Word on the street is the Houston Texans are upset about that as well. Do y'all feel that players should be allowed to tweet between games and after games? And if so, should they be tweeting valuable information like this? Because I don't know about you. If I'm injured, I'm not going to tell the whole world what I injured and where it's at. I mean, he completely just put the whole MRI out on the web, showing everybody where it hurts. And come week one, if everybody's diving at that leg, you know, can you be mad at him? And you can't fault him for it because he pretty much just gave himself away. I'm not against player tweeting. I mean, you know, if you want to tweet, that's fine. Before games or after games, I'm not for that. I think organizations should have some type of policy where they can't do that. But in terms of tweeting medical records, that's completely ridiculous. You're giving up your competitive edge. Now everybody in the league and everybody who's going to be playing you this year knows where that weak leg is. So if you get hit in that leg numerous times to the point where you are out for the season or out for a couple of weeks, it's going to hinder your performance, buddy. So I don't think that was pretty smart, Foster. Let me know what you think. The sweetfootTonyblog.blogspot.com or jsweetfootTonyCohen at Facebook. Next order of business is fantasy updates. This is, you know, the season's about to kick off. I know a lot of people have had their fantasy drafts already. I know a lot of people are getting ready for their fantasy draft. Shout out to the Truth League. My man Eric Johnson is the commissioner. Shout out to the Truth League. The Gunslingers is my squad. Anybody who's in fantasy, please feel free to let me know who's on your squad so we can just talk fantasy football. Some quick fantasy football updates. Whoever has Wes Welker, you might want to consider dropping him because he has a neck injury and God knows how long he's going to be out. Arian Foster is another one. I wouldn't say drop him, but I would at least say keep him on ice until you get some type of notification on how well he's doing. Let me just run over my team real quick. I got Drew Brees. He's going to be pretty good this year. No Sean Moreno and Rashard Mendenhall. I got Mike Thomas off the Jags. He's the number one wide receiver there. Vincent Jackson off the Chargers. A.J. Green. Vernon Davis. Mike Williams off the Seahawks. He's now converted to number 2 now that Sidney Rice is there. So his passing attempts might go down, but he's a bigger target. So I would look for him to get some nice catches in the end zone. Tony Romo. Yeah, I know I'm a Redskin fan, but please believe me, Redskin fans, I only got Tony Romo for trading purposes so I can get some better wide receivers. And unfortunately, I'm not getting any buyers. So anybody in the Truth League, if you want Tony Romo, let me know. I got Mark Sanchez as another backup, Joseph Adai, Justin Forsett, Jordy Nelson, and Fasante Schenkel. My kicker is Josh Brown, and I have the Baltimore Ravens defense. Based off of that, let me know if you think I got a good squad this year. We do a lot of trades in my league. I think this year I'm going to hold off on trades until after the first week, just to see what the value of my team is. But let me know who you got on your squad. If you have any fantasy football leagues you want to join, you want me to join, I have no problems doing it. We can do that. Hit me up on the sweetfootTonyblog.blogspot.com or jsweetfootTonyCohen on Facebook. So that is that. And just another thing, another fun thing I like to add to the show is called the Sports Fact. Today's Sports Fact is undrafted free agents. And a lot of teams have these great players, and they really don't know, a lot of these fans don't know that these players were undrafted. And a lot of these undrafted players go on to be great. So it's just a sign for all the other little kids and all the other people who are pursuing their dreams, never give up despite of what they may tell you. Here are some football players who were undrafted and also went on to go into the Hall of Fame. Warren Moon, John Randall, Antonio Gates, who's another great fantasy pickup, Adam Vinatieri, Kurt Warner, and Priest Holmes. Out of these 6 players, 5 of them are either Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. And that's pretty amazing. It's a pretty nice, pretty sweet sports fact. But something real quick for you today, so you can, enjoy the rest of the sports world and kickoff weekend and everything. But once again, I'm Sweetfoot Tony, and thank you for joining me on today's show. Make sure you go on the sweetfootTonyblog.blogspot.com or jsweetfootTonyCohen at Facebook and hit me up with your questions and everything. All right, peace.